off. Well, that was valuable. Everything that was in my head was true. See, this is how I know I'm psychic. Of course, it's God. I mean, I call it psychic because that's what people call it. In fact, when you call it prophetic or something like that, people get, or seer, they get irritated, So I just kind of use a normal term that everybody uses, psychic. So I had it. Apparently, and again, law enforcement was involved, and there was no reason to take him in for anything. It's just, he bolted his door. She couldn't get in. I don't know. Maybe he was drinking. He couldn't wake up, whatever it was. So again, that's part of why I'm in the middle of it, I guess. So again, I helped him understand the metaphysics, and he's kind of understanding it. And he said, she has to understand it. And I said, yeah. Because somebody cursed them, and somebody really cursed her throughout her life. So what's happening is, if he blames her and she blames him, the person that did it, first it gets entrenched in her life because it's them. It's not the person that cursed them, right? See, that's why they want people to know the truth. So the person that cursed them never gets the blame because Earth is light. Earth should automatically attack the person that's attacking their life, have them remove the curses, whatever it is, or even real time. It's probably happening. So somebody knocked on their door, and what I'm thinking, it may have been the person that called the police that was on the other side of the room or something. But that's rude, walk up, knock on the door. He got his pants on and everything, and nobody was there. I said, yeah, she rented a stairway. I mean, that's like illegal, like criminal mischief or whatever they call it. Because I knew the woman was on the other side of the hotel. She was checking out, but I'd seen her loading her vehicle up on the other side of the hotel while I was walking, and so it was what it was. So he wants me to explain it to her, but a bunch of stuff happened to her when she was younger. So, right. Essentially, after they left here last time, he got a job with this guy. And they were living in the house, and it had a pool and everything. He was making $20 an hour, and she had some issue, and like an attitude or something. And the guy said, no, she can't stay here. He said, you can come back anytime, And he said, I can't do that. I got to take care of her. So again, when I say it's autism or something like that, there's a metaphysic. I think she has autism and something else. But so it is what it is, right? And she just walked over the store. So the magic's kind of moving, and of course God has magic. And she just walked over the store. Well, the thing is, we have to, I think they would make a good couple, and he's trying, but right, he's carrying the burden there. And again, I know what he's going through because I went through that in my marriage, but I wasn't awake, so I can share now, and I do share when I get an opportunity with people how the metaphysics is actually working. It worked with my mother somewhat. They were cursing my mother to, have me locked up and all this crazy stuff, and the defense was that every time she went off, it's just to keep saying, this is not you, something's in your mind, there are others invading, our life, and they need to be gone. And it did work. She wasn't perfect, but I was able to keep control of her. Thank you. Cops in Naples were crooked. They couldn't. Essentially, she said, because I told her I was giving her like a warning order. A few months from now, I'm probably going to go to Colombia. I'm going to meet somebody, and we'll come. If it works, she'll come back, and she'll help take care of you. I'll be gone for a few months after years of helping her. I mean, it's torture trying to take care of her. She was actually, I think, worse back then than she is now. But because my brother was like supporting her, like believing everything she said. It's like, you jerk. I told him one time. I eventually said, I protect you when she's attacking you, and you're just going to agree with her now. No, so my mother said that she wanted me gone because I was going to go to Colombia in 3 months. So I threw my whole thing off, so I couldn't go to Colombia. And and they hadn't right. They said I had to leave because she wanted me to leave. No, I had residency rights. I didn't know that. So I ended up in Orlando and Lake Mary for a little while, and then I was coming home to say bye to her to go to California. I was going to spend like a couple weeks to a month with her, and she's laying in bed. Like, okay, I'll stay. And that's when everything crashed, and they came in and attacked much harder. I'm sure I was drugged or they used something. It makes me think that it was it was some sort of direct energy. Right? Because I laid in this bed and all of a sudden my body started spasming. When I was in the front on Lanai, it didn't happen. So I had to go back out on Lanai, but the line was hot because it was like, summer months or something. Right? So I said, I got to get over there and go sleep in the bed. I laid in the bed and that was it. Boom. Now, I know for a fact the apartment behind me was rented by somebody who did try to, actually, they did operate me, but it didn't have an effect. They're trying to make me afraid of going to Colombia and meeting that woman. Kind of like, you're just trying to bring a woman here as part of an, immigration offense or some shit like that. That was the inference. The government has nothing better to do all day. It could have been privatized, but government was part of it. So, because they were, the Sheriff's Department was part of it, Naples PD was part of it. Corrupt them, but we're millionaires. We're like first now. So I'm hoping to be able to get that chilled out so there's no disruption. There was one. I tell him to make sure he walks away. I mean, and he says, I walk away. But I say, yeah, but you get your, and you can't do that. Right. Because it's very vocal. Everybody's looking around. Oh, what's going on? But I don't know if we'll be able to do it. I don't know. It's because he's got, he's on and on again, off again with work right now. I think he might have a disability. I'm not sure. Now, if she doesn't have disability, she should. Right. I don't know if they give it to her right away, but she went across to the store area. Dude. If you're looking for her, I think she went over there. I saw her walking over that way. And he's like one of those guys, like you run into him every so often, the real emotional type guy. He said he grew up, like he said when he grew up, he already explained it to me. So, I didn't ask him. It just again, this magic's working a little bit. Maybe the family's trying to help them and stuff to open it up. But he grew up, he said, my brother used to hug me. I mean, we were hugging people. My brother used to hug me. I love you, brother. I love you, brother. So that's kind of the mentality he has. But I try to. I didn't want to come out and say it, but I kind of let him know that that's where he may be there just to make sure, like to take care of her through so many years and then, or even months, and then move on because God's trying to protect her, trying to get her somewhere. Right. So I guess they essentially are going to get there now. Again, she needed to go to work, and it's like this long walk, but it's like an 8-minute drive. And I said, look, I can drive. He's like, it's 4 a.m. I said, look, I don't do anything. For a while, maybe I can give you rides and stuff. So have an opportunity to explain it to her. I don't know if she's going to be receptive to it or not. Again, my mother was just kind of, it may have worked, Over time, it may have entered in her mind, and she, realized it a little bit. But, well, because they have power to draw you in. My mother had power to draw me in. But once I did that, she no longer had power to draw me in. But again, it's not her. It's the possessed. She gets possessed, and then the things around her trying to draw me into it. Oh, the FedEx. I'm grounded. What are you talking about? FedEx ground. Okay, so they grounded the ex-government employees. Let's unground ourselves. FedEx is Q for former federal employees. Or yes, it is. The nose creeping up to reverse what you say, so it's kind of weird. I've been cursed. Whatever I want, the opposite happens. So I know the federal agents and the state police and local police, the ones that are corrupt, have that curse in their repertoire. You also private sector criminal cronies. So yeah, I never applied it to police. Like, it never connected to police work till that report from the DA. Because he said, get back in your car, and then the reporter said he came out. He didn't go back in the car; it actually came out of his car. I wasn't even seeing the video, so I don't even know if it happened that way. But the reporter said he said, get back in your car, and they came out of the car, or stay in your car, and he came out of your car. So again, if they reverse your commands, it can be a reverse that you don't get what you want, and then usually it's followed by the opposite of what you want happens. So again, if you're using your commands and the person does the opposite, and you see it all the time. It's the first time I figured it out as being that curse. I knew that curse existed. There was that woman walking the dog. She shows up every so often. What's your story, huh? Seems like a nice. So again, it's all metaphysics, and I'm trying to get him and her to understand that it's metaphysics. It's not the inside. How you doing? So I'm trying to get them to understand that it's the metaphysics. It's not the physical thing that's happening. So it is what it is. But again, the call of alcohol is not, itself physical. It's all metaphysical. But a woman touched her eye. She didn't verbalize anything, so I can't really expect anything normal out of that. She could still be them, right? Because that's what they do. They do nonverbals and then say they never said anything. Right? So you have to be careful of that. So again, if you're with law enforcement officer and you want to be honest, you'd say, did you do anything nonverbal? I didn't say anything. See, it's a scam. It's a scam statement. Then you say, did you do anything nonverbal? No, not just the middle finger. Did you anything? People are deceptive. I'm supposed to help that woman, but again, you can't get in anybody's life that won't. When it comes to women, I'm very careful because the deep state sets it up that way, makes a woman in need, and then uses it against me when there's nothing to actually use. They just lie. And again, Trump's deep state. I don't want you to think this is a political thing. The CIA wants you to think it's a political thing. That way, that's a scam, so that they can keep being deep state from both sides, and then kind of dumb down what I'm saying. See, that happened to the Bible. I tried to tell you that years ago before I started speaking about all of this, that the Bible actually means something different They changed what everything meant. Just like Jesus actually said church. No, Jesus didn't say church. It's called a, what do they call it? It's a Jewish, essentially congregation, but not congregation. It's even more open. What's the other term? Assembly. So it didn't say church. Assembly is not church if you study Judaism, what an assembly is. Thank you, bro. And the woman, like, she shows up every so often. She comes out, walks her dog, and she disappears, and you never see her again. So they just feel you never see her again. See, that's what they do. But because it's inside my words, but I saw ahead inference. But that inference can also be false. So remember, I told you the gifts will fail, but yet you still can kind of use them. And then she has like just an electric, what are those things called? Scooter or whatever. She's like, oh, that's cool. It's like my kind of person. It doesn't mean it's my kind of woman or anything like that. I'm not inferring that. But like, yeah, the only person that's like kind of like me a little bit is would be dangerous for me to say hi to. Deep State would come in and pay her $10 million. So again, he was holding something back, and he may have been drinking. That's kind of where I think it went. They've been together for just maybe a half a year or so. So when I met them, that's probably when they met. They were staying here, and she said some harsh words again. How she wished she stayed with the other boyfriend, that kind of thing. That's kind of bad. You don't want to say that. So again, I don't know if I can fix it, but if I could, he wants me to speak to her, but I said, it has to happen the way it's going to happen, that kind of thing. Right. I mean, you're both not even speaking at this point. Right. She appears to really like him. Right. So I don't know, it has its potential. Right. But like all this stuff is coming into my mind while I'm walking. And and they're here again, and what's actually going on there, and some of it was voices, and then I'm like, well, I don't know if any of it's real, right? And then it turns out, yeah. I don't think he alluded to something. I'm not sure what it was, what she was actually saying. But it appears she's confused about borders also. But he doesn't connect it to the fact that this is interesting. I think they're having a conversation with sign language in the car over here. I imagine one of them's deaf. I gave him big ups when he came out of the room. I think he gave me enough back. I couldn't quite, I was broadcasting, so I couldn't figure out what he was saying. But what he's doing with the borders is she doesn't know borders about something, and he's not connecting it that she doesn't understand the borders in their arguments. So, like, so that's at this point where they are now. The best you can hope for is that they, in the issues they are having, that they both realize some sort of borders. But I told them you have to put the thing out. You have to start speaking against it. You can't, because what happens is, this is the big error. I don't know if Dr. Phil knows this one. Dr. Larry may be superior to Phil. Because if we fix the metaphysic, then we don't have to fix the physical. Right? Because it should, work. if you blame each other, then you're putting it in each other. You're keeping it in each other. It becomes you. It becomes the other person. You're actually assisting the person that's cursing you or the thing. In other words, it may not be a direct curse. I think it is, and based on what he's saying, it is. But it could be just people that, because he's dark skinned and she's a white. I guess she's white. She could be Latino for all I know. I don't know. But she's light skinned, he's dark skinned, and you'll have that. You'll have like two Latino people together, and like racist people will think it's interracial marriage because one's dark and one's light, and they'll curse it. That could be it. Or it could just be a general curse against, interracial marriages. My wife and I had that issue. I didn't know anything, but when we moved to Carroll County. It got powered up. And then, of course, we moved to the KKK capital of the world. I didn't even know that, York County. So that's KKK. I don't know if they still are. Probably are. They're just inside. And that's just coming out. These people that are the neighborhood watch and all that, they're all KKK. They're just not going to join KKK because it's not beneficial. They can move money back and forth in their own lives a lot easier if they just say their neighborhood watch or to catch a pedophile. What, he's actually putting notes on the doors about the power. Somebody must have complained. Let me see what this note says. Hopefully this isn't that woman's room. Look like I'm. See, that's how their witchcraft works. Yeah, it says we'll be power washing. And say, okay, somebody must have complained yesterday. He power washed their area, and there was no notification. I don't care, but somebody must complain. But that's how the witchcraft works. Like I see a sign I want to read. I go, oh, he walked over to the door. What do you think he's planning? Like you drive down the street. Oh, that was that woman from the Ross. She lives on this street. He must know, but he doesn't know anything. And they know it. They're corrupt pieces of shit. What else can be said? So this guy, he's working on his vehicle. He's trying to lure me in. I can feel the energy, but I'm done. I'm not going to put myself out. I can't afford to give him rides. I'm not going to work on his vehicle. I offered him one time. Right. Because that's just the beginning. It's just it's going to be abusive, and I'm not into that. I got enough people to help that I'm not going to be abused helping. I mean, we were ready to go, and I was going to pay him, and I could have cared less if he never paid me back the $250. I mean, I wanted him to pay me back, but I just giving it to God. Just don't be abusive in the process. Right. I'm sure he's possessed to a certain degree, but it's not, it's just how do you handle the possession, right? So I don't know how much money they have, but she's got to get to work. I offered to help them go to work, so let's see how that works. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. I mean, I wake up at 4, it's nice and cool, give her a ride, start walking then, and then go back to sleep at like 7. Especially because the heat's starting to come up. Right. I said, look, she's going to have to sit in the back seat. A lot of people might find that weird, but I have a desk in my right front seat, which is really, really a good idea anyway, if you're giving rides to people. Right. I don't know how old she is. She might be younger than him also. I don't know if that's a maturity issue also. And again, legally there's the adult age, but psychologically it could be as high as like 24, 25 years old. Right? And in reality, the way I understood it, I think I read that Islam, that's how Islam was structured. You weren't an adult till a certain age, and it could be 24 or whatever. Actually, I think they said 24. I think adults were 24 in ancient Islamic culture. So you were considered a youth until 24. And it's probably more realistic, especially with this generation. Oh my God. So now I'm at 30. I mean, it's mature. Like my mother was immature at like 60. Yeah, these people are weird. I just articulated what the actual voice, what the voice was inferring inside without a voice. That's God. God knows those people over there. God knows those people over there. They're doing like an insurance claim over here or something, taking photos. Already taking photos of the work. He's doing some touch. I guess he's doing touch-up work or something. Okay. That looks like a scrawny squirrel. What happened to you? The sun we're getting you. I hope you're not rabid. I'm gonna go the other way. That's the last thing I need is a rabid squirrel. Low crawling underneath this Audi. He's going for food. He's going over by. You got something in your mouth, or you got rabies? He's foaming at the mouth. You got somebody else over there helping us. I guess he's paying him. Maybe he's paying him to do it. All right. That's cool. So hopefully he'll be okay with his vehicle. Again, people drink a lot, and I understand that, but I don't want to be part of that kind of mindset. Yeah, he's all stressed out because he really is connected to her. I mean, she's a lovable person, but if she's having an issue with relations, and again, remember, I don't know if I did say finances. So again, that can cause, and I'm trying to explain it to him. That's what it is. That this is not really something between both of you. It's much bigger. Now, if you believe it's her, and she believes it's you, then it's going to never go away, or it'd be difficult to go away. So the first thing you do is start invoking the fact that it's a possession, it's evil, attacking you and her and the relationship. How that lessens its hold right there. But again, if some millionaire or billionaire cursed them, then it would cause, it could power up increasingly, right? Even while you're healing it. She's returning. I think some of it may be an immaturity issue, but again, I think there might be a psychological issue that's manifesting in immaturity and other things. But she was abused. You already hinted he knew about. He's not my place to tell you, but she was abused. So yeah, I was right too, right? Actually, God was right. I can't take the credit, or I wouldn't be able to do it. See, that's the point. I always say it's God, and then God can work through me. If I say it's me, then of course I might think I'm wonderful, and the system may actually make me look wonderful because lie that it's me and that I'm successful, and all it takes is ourself to get anywhere, and so on and so forth. You find any of those Mexican intelligence people around here? I'm infiltrating all of us. I think they moved on once I said something, huh? Oh, wait, I don't want to go over here because they're working on the vehicle. I want to go this way. Like a lot of women think I'm like the other guys, again, not all the other guys, but the guys that experience like abused women. Right. Right. And I'm not even going to ask for a relationship or anything, or even sex or nothing. I'm just like, in the moment, there you are, there I am, let's have a conversation. Actually, I don't want anything unless I know it's going to work, right? And that's even just a simple relationship. Yeah, your cars are carrying some shit around it. On XFPD cars have like a curse around, not a curse, but a projection, an evil projection making people hate them. Popo's here for nothing. Popo here. I guess this woman making a report or something. I don't know. I'm trying to keep these other people at bay. What that was about. He got in his car. He got out of his car. Oh, he went to the wrong place, I guess. He got in his car, got out of his car, went back in his car. I guess he went to the wrong room. I don't know. He's leaving. Bye. Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess went to the wrong room. Maybe the Mexican intelligence agents ran him off. It was just an evil projection. It like makes people hate you. I gotta go here. I don't want to irritate that guy by being around him because he's fixing his vehicle. His mind's starting to project. So, well, I'm able to fix it in the relationship. I mean, again, it's God. God would fix it because obviously I couldn't know anything about those two people without God speaking to my mind. Oh, it's difficult. I'm a man alone. I'm like, let's take advantage of this woman. I'd be like every other man. No, God knows I am. That's why I trust him. No, it's consuming her mind because she's usually, she takes care of herself well. And right now, and again, it could be allergies. I keep telling people that she might have allergies and it like freaks her mind out. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be hay fever. It can just be like an irritated, nervousness and anxiety, right? So again, that was part of what I was supposed to bring to the planet so we could fix everything. Because somebody doesn't need to take tranquilizers when they need Allegra or a nasal steroid or something like that. Now, the nasal steroid isn't only for your nasal passages. If it's a steroid, so it's actually an allergy medicine also. Of course, it's designed to clear your nasal passages. No, I didn't run away from the cop. I'm running away from the Mexican intelligence officers. I went out on the street because I just don't want to be up in there right now. A lot of weirdness. Well, there are several. Those type of curses take several forms. It isn't only. It isn't only. It isn't just like, okay, everybody hate you. It could be a divide thing, a divide and conquer thing. Like the people that people come up to you and they say stuff about the us and them concept, and it exists to a certain degree, but yet they could be spelling around you, causing things to occur to push their viewpoint, and then again you get an officer that does the wrong thing. Right? And again, it's people on people, so things are going to go wrong, and that's, I wouldn't say normal, but it's normal with an abnormality. I mean, it happens, right? So it could be just like me and maybe some black people, whoever the person wants to alienate from the police department, and then the police department alienate from that person or those people. Again, it's not just about me, right? Like years ago, there was a taxi service in, where was that? What was that called? Baltimore County, North Baltimore County. And it would come around and it would carry the deep state, but it was like a law enforcement presence. Like at first I was wondering if it was detectives. It was that strong. It was just as I was waking up. And again, when it first started happening, I didn't understand it. But then when I woke up, I'm like, okay, I wonder if that was detectives. And one detectives, it came through that the person that owned it was part of the Old Boy Network, was part of a secret society. And he essentially was carrying credentials in his taxis. But it was more of a crooked enforcement. Secret society type enforcement versus real enforcement. So again, part of driving somebody nuts and making them paranoid. Oh, the Pope was over here. I'm looking for somebody. Just looking for a room or something. They're walking around. I don't know what they're looking for. Right. Somebody over on this side. There was somebody staying here before that had a warrant, but I thought he got arrested. Somebody told me that there was a warrant. I think he got questioned too, because they were looking for somebody. Right. And he asked them something, or they asked him something or something like that. Right. But I thought that guy got arrested. Could be somebody else. Again, like I say, when you check into a hotel or an extended stay or anything like that, you're going to be you're going to give up your information, and they're going to check it and know you're here. So I'm still looking for somebody. I guess we can't find the room. Oh shit! I have it on my phone. He's trying to find a room. You should have asked me. You can take a photo of it. It's on the front desk, and then have it in your phone. I'm trying to stay away from them, so I'm not in the middle of their stuff, and they keep walking around trying to find the room. Who knows? Knock on the door, a round could come out. I'm not getting paid for that kind of danger. How that happens, right? It hits the innocent person across the street or something. I carry enough curses for that to happen. So let me continue this way. Now, there's a you can't. They don't have a map, but if you go to the desk and there's a sign, as long as the same sign's there, the sign says we'll be back in 10 minutes or something. You flip it around, and then there's a map on the backside. So you take a photo of that, and then you have it on your phone. Then you could send it to everyone. That's what you probably should do. Get photos of maps of each one of the hotels and apartment complexes. And then put it in a folder and send everybody the folder. I could be an operations guy anywhere, right? Or admin officer or something. That way you just look on the phone, you find where the room is, and that's it. Or apartment. I'd do the project if I was working for you. Even if you had me out on the street, I'd still do it. All you gotta do is you get a list of all of them and you go visit. I mean, you may be one or two. I don't even think that. I think everybody has a map. They told me they didn't have a map here. I said, give me a map. I want a photocopy. I'm going to give it to the DoorDash people. Because, like I said, when you... So when you pull up, my screen went blank for a second. When you GPS your way into this place, are they on this side now? Officers are interviewing some people. Are they going after him? That guy? Are they arresting him? There's the woman. Oh, I guess they're going to be having some trouble. Alright, oh, they're arresting him. That sucks. I'm trying to help them. Oh, they uncuffed him. They're just having arguments, that's all. Right. If I get a chance to help them. Because I think they're at that point where if they don't get help, it's, it's going to be it someday. Right. But it's financial issues. So if I can make sure she gets to work every day. Right. Hopefully they're not trying to make me look bad, I just spoke to them. People don't like that. I've seen them do that before. I'm not saying you're doing that here, but I've seen officers do that. Trying to make me look like a snitch or something, so somebody will kill me. I mean, I do help government, but I'm not like, ratting on people for having an argument or something. Go over and try to help them calm down. That's what I do. Yeah, all he did was lock her out of the room. It could have been the maintenance lady because she heard it. But that's why I'm kind of walking around right now trying to get them to stay apart and quiet. In the name of Jesus, gotta heal that woman. That's pretty bad. Yeah, something was going to happen to her. Hopefully not. Well, I think what happened is she was supposed to go to work at 4 a.m. or something, and she didn't go. She didn't feel like walking or something. So again, it gets down to financial issues. Generally, most people, when there is arguments or something like that, that's generally what it's about. It may be about something else, but when you look closer at it, it involves financial issues. But I don't know if they were drinking or anything. I can't tell you whether they were drinking or something was involved like that. I don't know people's lives like that. Most of the people around here are happy drunks. See, you know what? He called me on my phone to give me his number because he was going to call me if she needed a ride. I hope nobody did anything off of that. I mean, that would be corruption. Again, they call me on my phone. They're affiliated with me somehow. Now you're going to go arouse them. That would be corruption. Right. I just yelled at that woman. She said something to me. I don't know what it was. It probably needs to be looked at least. Make sure that's not their motivation. I mean, obviously, you walk off and don't do anything, and then I say something, or not I say something, or I say something, and they put something on, put their number on my phone, then you go after them. I'm not saying you did that, but that could be. I've seen it before. That simple. Oh, doing another room. Okay, I thought. See, how did I know they were doing 2 rooms? That's why I corrected myself. I had to doing 1 room. Now they're doing 2 rooms. Maybe even multiple rooms. That would be out and corruption. Now, I'm not saying it's the officer. The officer's got a call to go over here and do this, I guess. Got to find who that person is. It's doing that. So the person that made sure that woman never dated me, or there's 5 women that put digits in my phone, never even answered the call when I called them. So are they still talking over there? I guess they're still interviewing. I guess somebody called. I think somebody called, but I don't know. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do.